see at all the different locations across Africa. And we're starting off right here in South Africa. And we have some elephants that have come down for a drink. Now, as always, I would absolutely love to hear from all of you. So please do make sure that you send through any comments or questions that you may have through to me. And even if it's just to say hello, let me know who you are and where you're watching from. Or if you have any thoughts, just like Joanne, who says, "Good day, Amy. Let's explore the waterholes." And indeed, Joanne, that is the plan for the next 2 hours or so. We'll be exploring some of the different locations and the different animals that are coming to cool down. Ozzy, you say beautiful Ellies. We love them so much. Absolutely. Now, it's nice to see some elephants coming and splashing about. Over the last day or two, it has been quite quiet. We've had a bit of rainy weather, which I have been very grateful for here in the Lowveld. But today, the sun is back, and it is back and biting. It is very, very warm, everybody, and no wonder these elephants are here to cool off. And speaking of the weather, why don't we have a look at what the weather is doing across our other locations? Well, warm for the most part everywhere. You can see here in the Greater Kruger, we're looking at temperatures of about 35 degrees this afternoon. And it always seems that after a storm or some rainy weather has passed by, I'm not sure, but it does seem like the sun is just very, very warm this afternoon. Lovely to see this little one enjoying itself so much. Ozzy, you'd like to know if so many high temperatures are normal for March. And yes, most certainly, very much the norm. It's sort of the tail end of summer now, and we can still expect those high temperatures all the way up until the end of the month. And as April arrives, it tends to get a little bit cooler. Jan, it is a Ellie pool party indeed. They just love the water. Absolutely, especially when it is so warm.
Out in the wild, life moves fast. To capture the action, you've got to be in the right spot at the wrong time. Now, incredible animal behavior, selected from amazing amateur and professional footage, to reveal the secret lives of animals in motion. This is raw nature, caught in the act.
WildEarth, connecting with nature.
Beer, welcome. You are watching from the Indian side of Africa, and it is great to have you with us all the way from there as well. Hey, hello, you are this is really a live stream. It absolutely most certainly is. And you want to know if so from where and what time is it there where you are. So where we are in South Africa, where the stream is from, it is 18 minutes past 1 p.m. in the afternoon. Joey. And this is within Olifants Waste Game Reserve, which is part of the Greater Kruger National Park within South Africa in the northeastern corner. And we actually hop around from different locations, so we won't only be in this area. We have feeds that come from Namibia, Zimbabwe, as well as Kenya and South Africa. And we get to check out all the animals that are visiting live right here, right now. The Nutty Prof, you say hi, Amy. Lovely to hear your voice on the live, but we miss you on the live drives. How rare are albino animals in the bush? Nutty, thanks so much. I'm glad that you are happy to hear my voice. And in fact, I'll actually be back on the live drives in, I think, a week. 8 days. Next week, I'll be back at Juma. So I'm very much looking forward to that. And then you'll see me once again behind the wheel. And with regards to albino animals, very rare. And the reason for that is actually we hardly see any albino animals surviving in the wild because they are completely lacking pigment, Nutty Professor. So out here, either too much or too little pigment means pretty much certain death. You're very weak and the sun is just too harsh either way. Either you'll overheat or not be able to withstand the harsh UV rays of the sun. So what we actually tend to find are what we call leucistic animals. So you get leucistic elephants, for example, sort of called a pink elephant, if you've ever heard that term before. And it's basically an elephant that is lacking pigment. So they still have some melanin, but you'll see between the wrinkles is quite pink. Also around their eye, they've got a light eye, and they just stand out from the rest. You also get leucistic lions, known as white lions, very rare to find out in the wild, but they also exist. What an amazing view of these eddies now coming past us. Joanne, you say the young Ellie is having a blast. So adorable. Wasn't it just the cutest? It really was, enjoying itself there at Cataipan. There is a little one there still just next to mom on the left-hand side. Hasn't quite ventured into the water just yet. Joey, you'd like to know if adult elephants ever play in the water as well, or only the young ones? Most certainly we get adult elephants having a pool party as well. Just in smaller pans like this, it's a little bit more difficult for them to get down on all fours because of the sort of lack of water. Then it's not as deep. And so the little ones find it a lot easier. But in bigger water holes, in locations such as Djuma, sometimes even where some of the deeper water holes that we see. I've seen it at Rosie's Pan, although that's quite small as well, but it is a little bit deeper than here. We see elephants also at Jamala. Very, very much enjoy rolling around in the mud, even though they are adults. So it's not reserved for the young ones only.
Oh, how time flies when you're having fun. Daylight saving time for the US and Europe has arrived. The 10th of March will see the US shift an hour forward, and the 31st of March will see Europe and the UK also shift an hour forward. Stay connected to nature from wherever you are in the world. Go to our website to find out more. Don't miss a moment with WildEarth.
Luanda and I were just saying how wonderful it is to still have these elephants here at Katai. And often they do just come past for a quick drink and off, but today they have hung around and we've seen some play in the water, and it has been absolutely wonderful. Rolf, you'd like to know how long an ellie can hold water in its trunk? Ooh, that's a good question. I've never thought about that. Honestly, Rolf, probably a while if they really wanted to, but usually the purpose of putting the water in their trunk is to get it out again, whether that's for splashing onto their bodies or putting the water into their mouth. So with that in mind, I suppose they could hold there for like maybe a few minutes or an hour, or really however long they wanted to. Of course, then that would restrict their breathing to breathe through their mouth and not through their nostril. So I suppose it's like asking us to hold water in our mouth. How long could a human hold it for? Potentially a very long time, but we don't do that because it's not necessary. So I hope that makes sense to you, Rolf. But they are capable of holding that water, and I would assume if they wanted to, they could hold it there for a while. Oh my word, this elephant seems very large right in front of us. Bulls that are slow to each other. Hello, good to hear you. You are asking me if I think the rain over the last few days will make a difference in terms of vegetation before the dry season. Yes, Stephen, I think so. Obviously, it depends exactly how much has fallen, and that's different on the different areas of the Greater Kruger. But I mean, already I can notice where I stay on the reserve that I stay on. There's a little bit of tinge of green in the grass, but that will be short-lived. It will give a little bit more tasty grass to the grazers and browsers out here. Possibly a touch of water into some of the water holes, but for the most part, because of the good rainy season over the last 2 years, there's plenty of food going into the dry season, and also plenty of water in the water holes. So I think already it's been set up pretty well for the animals going into winter. Lots of food and water around that will last them until the first rains. Well, these elephants have been wonderful, everyone, and if they stick around, I'm sure that we'll be back again. But just to check up on something different, let's head over to Tau. Well, there's always such a lovely scene here at Madikwe. And we've got a very large ellie bull that's come for a drink. There's also some zebra and kudu around as well. Now this particular waterhole has actually dried up quite a bit in the last month or so. But not a problem for these ellies. They actually quite enjoy all the mud. We often get asked about if these elephants get stuck in the mud. And you could just see there, even though this bull sunk in quite deep, he is able to just pull out that foot, even though it was pretty much stuck in the mud there. Oh, hello, mister. And this elephant is now feeding, so part of the advantages of this particular spot is some very, very lush green grass that grows closer on the side of the camera, and we get these elephants. You can actually see where this elephant walked. Just ahead of the right, there's a big path through the mud, and that must be where this ellie walked in. Quite freshly disturbed muddy soil there. Well, just to let you all know that this coming Friday, the 15th of March at 7 p.m, you are invited to join James and Andre as they discuss WildEarth developments such as the donation drive and the new views that we are getting. They will also be in questions, and this is open to all viewers, not only explorers, so you are more than welcome to join 7 on the 15th, which is this coming Friday. Now, earlier I mentioned leucism and how it's found in elephants, but also in lions. And Stephen, you are wanting to know what actually causes the leucism that we see in lions. And it all has to do with genetics, Stephen. So there's a recessive gene. It is the tyrosinase, I think I'm pronouncing that correctly. That's how I've always said it, tyrosinase gene that is actually mutated. And what happens is that that particular gene is responsible for the production of melanin in the lion. And what happens is that if two of the lions, a lion and a lioness, find each other that both possess that gene, there is a 25% chance that their offspring will be white. So a white lion doesn't necessarily, let's say, the parents of a white lion don't necessarily need to be white lions. They just have to have the gene in them. And that's what we see in the area around sort of the central part of Kruger into a reserve named Ngala, where we have seen those white lions before in the wild. And that is because those genetics are being passed in that particular area of those lions, and slowly but surely males do possess that, and they might move off and find another rare lion with those genes. We may get the white lions, appearing in a greater area, but of course the females are the ones who give birth, and they generally tend to stay in natal areas. So that is how it works, Stephen. So it's all to do with genetics and a particular gene that mutates and causes the production of melanin to be less than what it should be. And so we get these paler looking lions. And now we have another little herd of ellies that are coming down to the water today here at Tau. And a zebra calf suckling. Joanne, you want to know if ellies eat lily pads? I can't actually say that I have seen them specifically eat a lily pad before, but it is a plant, it is green, so in some circumstances I'm sure elephants may eat them, but it's definitely not their sort of preference. I would say they much prefer the green grass that's growing around here.
Better is more than a word to us. It's a commitment to conserve our nation's precious landscapes, oceans, and wildlife. It's more sustainable fishing and farming practices, jobs and prosperity for our communities, and access to clean drinking water for all. Better is believing that together we can make a difference. For nature and for you.
Well, we have a beautiful elephant bull who's here at Old Donyo Lodge. And I've just been admiring the full scene, everyone. Just have a look at these guys and the sky behind him. Now, this particular bull has one really long tusk and one that's broken off. I would imagine that it may have been a similar length at some stage. There are also some giraffe there in the background. As this Ellie moves off, we may actually see them come forward for a drink. And you are wondering if it is full when a tusk gets broken, and it can be, Joanne, absolutely. If you imagine your tooth being connected to a whole bunch of nerves, and that with your jaw, it's exactly the same for animals. Their teeth are connected to their jaw and their nerves and nerve endings there, which can be very sensitive. However, when it comes to the very much elongated tusk of an elephant, you could slightly see it there, but the main sort of section actually becomes hollow, and then it solidifies towards the tip again and solidifies as it goes into the jaw. So whereabouts it breaks off, it can be more or less painful for the elephant. The closer to the face, the more painful that break would be. Or 2 namakwa doves that were flying there. And then we also actually have seen some beautiful birds here at Aldonyo Lodge. Really, it has been amazing. Those are the namakwa doves with the long tails there. Such a beautiful, beautiful dove. The males have this black face with an orange beak, the only dove I know of with some color in their beaks. And then we've also seen quite a few of the widers that are in their breeding plumage at the moment. Absolutely stunning. The straw-tailed wider. We had a glimpse of that yesterday. And often we get quite a few of it. There seems to be a tree just behind this waterhole, sort of on the leftish side, where a lot of the birds tend to hang out. It actually is looking like a sparrow at the moment that's hopping around there, grey-headed sparrow. Well, now that the ellies have moved off and the birds have too, let's head back over to Rosie's pan in the Greater Kruger. And here we have a little warthog family coming for a mud wallow. I do enjoy a warthog, everyone. Really, they are so cute. Funny animal that has some strange habits, but they are very sweet. Craig, you'd like to know if warthogs have to fight for mating rights, and yes, they do. There can be some serious fights between male warthogs that could be if one doesn't submit to the other, and I've actually seen that fight before, well, a fight like that before. They sort of get down on their knees, similar to wildebeest, and use tusks that can be weapons, and they have to battle it out to determine who is the strongest and most powerful male warthog in that particular area.
Experience captivating wildlife documentaries showcasing incredible animal behavior for free by visiting lionmountain.tv or downloading the app, accessible on both Apple and Android platforms.
Well, there are still some elephants here at Katai Pan, everyone. And how spoiled we have been to be able to enjoy this for the first half of the show. There's actually one that's lying down. I didn't see it at first. I thought it was a rock. But a little one has decided to go full on and have a, well, try and have a swim in what water there is here. We may get another Y. Tao, you're asking about me mentioning strange behavior by warthogs. So I'll expand on that a little bit. And maybe I didn't quite use the right word, but to me it is rather a little bit peculiar or strange. I just think that it's just an odd animal. And I think it's why I'm looking at them so much. First of all, the way that they behave is a little bit odd to me. I can't quite work them out sometimes, especially around water holes. They tend to arrive and then dip themselves in the water and move off again and then come back again and dip themselves in the water. And I sort of wonder why they don't just plop down and enjoy a really good mud wallow at one time. And then sometimes also when they're feeding, they go down on their knees and they sort of use their snouts to dig around in the sand and the mud. And that can also be quite funny as well. And then with mom and the little ones, those little ones are also really, really cute. The piglets, we tend to see them now around summertime. And if you're lucky enough to ever see a baby warthog, they are very cute and also just sort of run around with so much energy and then stop and look and go to mom and suckle, and they just are a little bit odd to me, but it's why I do love them so much. All right, well, we are going to leave these elephants at Kata and head up to Kenya to see the giraffes making their way to the waterhole. There we go, everyone. I thought maybe this would happen. Those giraffes often wait under the tree or sort of away until the elephants are done. And now they've made their way to come down to the water. Giraffes here at Aldonhill Lodge always look so well, and their colors are always so against the green background, and sometimes even blue sky. At the moment, actually, it is quite grey with the clouds building, and I think there may be some rain coming a little bit later here. Well, now we have all the giraffes arriving here in Kenya. Oh, this is really just so beautiful, everybody. I wonder how many giraffes can fit around this waterhole at once.
Experience captivating wildlife documentaries showcasing incredible animal behavior for free by visiting lionmountain.tv or downloading the app, accessible on both Apple and Android platforms. Well, I have counted 11 giraffes, so 12 now, I think, with the one arriving. I
think there were 10 drinking at one time. Jive Bunny, you will say, hi Amy, we have a tower of giraffes, or is it a journey? Right now, I would say it's a tower, Jive Bunny, because they all stand in here around the water. If they all walked off, a typical, there we go, actually some are moving now, that little group moving, we then call journey of giraffe. And it's that typical sort of African scene that you sometimes see in the sun, with giraffes walking across the plains and the sunset silhouettes them. Oh, what a beautiful picture that is. And that's when we call a journey of giraffe, when they're on the move. But for them to just be standing here at the waterhole, we would then call this a tower. And you say this is incredible. Isn't this just one of the most beautiful scenes you have ever seen? For me, it's all about the sky that's making this special, the sun on the clouds, and the bits of blue in the background, and all these giraffes here in the water. If there's any artist watching, take a snapshot and maybe try and paint this, because this would be amazing, I think. Alright everyone, well, we have enjoyed these giraffes here, but let's go see what's happening at Djuma. Oh wow, beautiful. We have some European bee eaters here, everyone. And speaking of bee eaters, I think it was Joanne who mentioned Africa has a beautiful bird called a bee eater, and they are beautiful to see. Well, indeed, there's many, many different species that we get to see, but this particular one that is on screen at the moment, well, it's back and forth here and there, is the European. So this migrates from, of course, Europe down to Southern Africa, and it is a beautiful, beautiful bird. Quite a unique combination of colors. They actually, you couldn't really see exactly how pretty they were there. A lot of their backs to us, which are like a rufusy brownish, but they have this beautiful light blue and yellow that is around their chests and head, and between on their backs, underneath the feathers, and every now and again they do show that to us. Now, European bee eaters have a lovely call. very distinctive and one that I always look forward to hearing on their arrival, which usually happens around October, November time, the beginning of summer, when they come back. Another migrant that we could see is the southern carmine bee eater. They're a little bit bigger, longer tail, and beautiful pink color. I do think I saw one. There we go. It's still sitting in the tree there, just a little bit upright to where we had them originally. So they are still around there in the tree. I did spot one of the bee eaters. You can also hear a woodland kingfisher calling. It's been a while since I've actually heard that call, everyone, which is quite surprising since we usually hear them constantly in summer. All right, well, another little creature came to visit us at Cataipan, and we are going to have a look at a whip scorpion that came to visit. Wow, this is amazing, everyone. I'm just trying to work out exactly what is where. If it's actually caught something here. Very, very interesting. I actually thought it had caught something, but no, it was actually just feeling around on the hunt. And what an interesting arachnid, part of the arachnid family, whip scorpion. And also very much active at night. So it's wonderful that we get to show you some of the more scarce things that come out under the cover of darkness, thanks to the Africam cameras and the infrared, which allows us to see. Jive Bunny, you say those antenna! Exclamation mark. I know, isn't it just incredible? And that's what they use to be able to feel around them and know exactly what's going on. A massive advantage for that particular tapir. All right. Well, it was to see those European bee eaters here, brief as it was, and we are going to head back over to Cataipan. Where the Ellies are still around. This is amazing and by far one of the longest elephant sightings I've ever here. It's basically been the entire show so far. These Ellies have been busy and needs to be more and more arriving for water and a bit of a pool party this afternoon.
We've got a refreshing splash of entertainment this March. Africam is surfacing with a new show. Join us every morning and submerge yourself in nature's ambience. Watch it live and transport yourself to the finest watering holes across Africa. WildEarth, connecting with nature.
I so enjoy listening to the sounds of elephants at a waterhole, everyone. I'm not sure who agrees with me, but I could sit and just listen all day. Tammy, hello. You say this is awesome, isn't it? Just absolutely fantastic. You can see a little blacksmith lapwing and a 3-banded plover around there. Jackson, you say brave of those birds to be next to the eddies. Lol. They are, aren't they? I would be super intimidated by something so large, but these lapwings are quite fearless. And also they can move super, super quickly, and we know that elephants don't eat birds, so they don't have to worry about that. They just have to worry about getting a big foot on top of them. But fortunately, both animals are quite aware. So I don't think that accident is going to happen, but more so just the size of the eddy being quite scary for something as small as a lapwing or a plover. Oh, this one's deciding it needs to lie down. Oh, and it's the blacksmith went for a bit of a flight there to get out of the way. Hello. You're going to give us a sniff? This is awesome. Unfortunately, I think that elephant dropped a little bit of muddy water on the camera, so I do apologize for it of the picture being slightly murky. Crafty Jacks, you say lovely to watch eddies when they're by the water. It really is the best. I absolutely love it as well. Dark Main Lover, it's an absolute pleasure. I'm so glad that I'm getting to watch these elephants alongside of you and how everyone is enjoying them as well. SW, you say, how sweet. It is sweet, isn't it? Everything about these eddies in one way or another is entertaining. Well, we have another little clip for you all to show you some action that happened over the last day. And this time we are watching some baby rock hyraxes or dassies around the rocks on Black Eagle camera. Well, this is very cute. You can see the adult dassie on the right hand side and all these little ones that have come out. Oh, and there we have one going to suckle. Oh, how sweet is that? Now, the rock hyraxes, in South Africa, we call them dassies, and they do breed a lot. So it's no surprise that there's lots of babies out there, and not necessarily nocturnal. We do see them out and about in the day as well, but they can be active at any time. Even if it does look quite dark there, it might have been just sort of twilight or early hours of the morning where their light wasn't quite enough. But still, it's very, very cool to see those babies.
Are you a wildlife fanatic, glued to YouTube for your daily dose of animal antics? Then welcome to Africam's wildlife community. By joining our YouTube memberships, you get no ads, just wild live streams, chat with other bush fans, get early access to exciting camera spots, and flex your wildlife knowledge with fun quizzes. Visit Africam's YouTube channel and click the join button now.
Claire, hello. You say this is just wonderful. Elephants are the best. And we are being treated this afternoon here at Cat Eye Pan. And we have one suckling as well from Mom at the moment. GC, you say, what a great shot. Isn't it just? Especially when they come all the way up to the camera. I know I say this quite often, but it really does feel like they're going to hear me or look straight at me, like I'm sitting right there. Can hear some of the vocalization there as well from these Ellies. Llewellyn, hello. You ask, can a snake penetrate an elephant's skin? And yes, there are certain species of snakes. I suppose it would be the larger of the species that are able to get strong enough fangs that are long enough and full enough to go through an elephant's skin. And we must remember, we're not talking necessarily about the thickest parts of the elephant's skin. We are referring more to around the legs, which would be the most likely place or where an elephant would be bitten if it was bitten, although it's not something that's extremely common. Sort of the skin on the inside of the leg is a little bit more softer, or around the belly area. You can imagine if something like a black mamba gets a fright, or even a puff adder, and hops up, they can actually reach very, very high. And so that whole area can be vulnerable to snake bites. Moonbeam, you say you'd love to have this as a picture in your house. The sky, the soil, and the eddies. It is beautiful, isn't it? really has become a pool party here once again, with all these elephants arriving for what a one way to finish off the show this afternoon.
Out in the wild, life moves fast. To capture the action, you've got to be in the right spot at the wrong time. Now, incredible animal behavior selected from amazing amateur and professional footage to reveal the secret lives of animals in motion. This is raw nature, caught in the act.
WildEarth, connecting with nature.
All right, everyone. Well, it has indeed been wonderful here with these elephants, but let's head over to Juma to finish off the show. Oh, wow. How beautiful is this? It looks like we are finishing off with a beautiful Wahlberg's eagle here, everybody. And I can see those feathers, first of all the way down to the legs, to the feet. And then that very typical sort of profile there with that small crest at the back of the head, dark eyes, yellow, sort of almost yellow-white on the bill, and then a very plain one color brown all around, not much mottling or black on the tips of the wings like we'd see with the tawny eagle. So a Wahlberg's eagle indeed. Well, everyone, it is unfortunately that time of the day where I have to say goodbye to you all. But thank you so much for your comments and your questions today. It has been a wonderful show. Lots to chat about, lots of different things to see. So thank you all for joining me. And I will be back with you all tomorrow where we will be doing this all over again. Until then, I do wish you all a lovely day further, and we'll chat again tomorrow. Goodbye.